Now, you're already familiar with Gowan. His previous records have gone double platinum and triple platinum, and he's toured this country time and again. Well, it took 3 years to make it, but he's out with a brand new record. And this time he's armed with a lot of special guests, and he's got a brand new record deal in the USA. Now, we wanted to find out about Gowan, the songwriter, what his process was like, and all this, of course, necessitated a trip to the inner sanctum, his house.
Down forbidden streets I talk with, every single step I walk with, all the lovers in the world, all the lovers in the world. Though the lonely nights returning, I can feel the flame that's burning, all the lovers in the world.
The LP dedication was real interesting to me because it's dedicated to all my enemies and friends with the advice to persevere.
Why persevere?
Yeah.
Actually, do you want me to really show you why?
Yeah.
Hang on, I have it here somewhere. Hold on a second, come on over here. Where is it now? There it is. This is just a little saying that somebody gave to me. And I just think it's a fantastic saying. It says, nothing in the world will take the place of perseverance. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent, or women. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. And education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. And it says, persistence and determination alone are omnipotent.
Where'd you get that?
My dad gave it to me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's what it took to make this record, really, in a lot of ways. It took 3 years. It took getting a new record deal in the United States. It took just living and going through as many upheavals and as many highs and lows as it takes to really come out with a record.
But you're a strange animal, I got to follow.
When it comes to your live performance, there's so much physicality. I mean, you're just leaping around all over the place. It struck me, I mean, this is probably not an original thought, but that it's a reaction against this instrument.
Well, this instrument, this particular one, is I've had for about 10 years now, and I've written any song that anybody in the public would ever know was written on this piano. But you're right, the physical nature of the piano is it's such a monster thing, you know, and this is just an electric, but it tends to make you want to explode, you know, and you're kind of always looking over at the guitar players going, if only I could put this thing around my neck, you know. So what we've done on this tour, and I think you've already shot some of our live stuff, I have this revolving stainless steel piano now that I find really works well because I'm able to connect really well with the audience. You know, so often when you're playing the piano, you've got to do this all the time, you know, and, you know, that kind of stuff. And this revolving one is it's great because I can kind of zero in on different parts of the audience and still feel a real contact with them. And so I'm pretty proud of that, actually. So I decided to retire this guy. He's just in the writing stage from now on.
Oh, that's good. Well done.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Good job.
Yeah, that's right. Especially for you coming, actually.
Oh, thanks. Been a lot of drama in your writing, for me anyway, but in this record I think you've actually taken it a step further because you're talking very much to the point about things that you want people to hear about. They're almost message songs in a way. Well,
I think that's really what the public, it's what I've sensed that I want to hear from music right now. I think it's part of the phenomenon of a lot of rap music, that it's speaking to people and it's saying things that they really want to be said, and not in a kind of la-di-da fashion either, not in a kind of just, like I said before, alluding to things or something like that. You really have to go right to the, you know, you have to get right to the meat of the matter, you know, and not be afraid to say some things that will perhaps make people uncomfortable. All the things that I may say in my lyrics usually comes from the music first of all, you know? It's actually a phrase a musical phrase that'll make me actually turn on to a lyrical idea. And we discussed that before as well. So it went, okay, that little haunting melody made me, you know, come up with that type of a lyric. And the same thing with Holding This Rage. It was when I had the, you know, dangerous days are these to be living. Just a musical turn of phrase like that makes me say things more in that realm than so many other songs that have been written about subjects that have been hacked to death, I think.
As the glow from the ashes lit the faces of the people passing by, they saw the victims die. They saw the victims die. When the news hit the papers, they said 19 bodies had been blown away. Somebody's gonna pay. Somebody's gonna pay. Oh yeah. Dangerous days are these to be living. Dangerous days, there's little forgiving. No, it just stayed in our blood, but holding this rage isn't your answer, boy. Holding this rage won't lead you on. Holding this rage will tear you to pieces, boy. Look what it's done. Look what it's done. Father John said the last words, then he mumbled to himself with deep regret, this isn't over yet. This isn't over yet. Down a long line of mourners, see another young boy choke on bitter tears, scars that won't disappear. Scars that won't disappear. Oh no. Dangerous days are these to be living. Dangerous days, there's little forgiving. No, it just stayed in our blood, but holding this rage isn't your answer, boy. Holding this rage won't lead you on. Holding this rage will tear you to pieces, boy. Look what it's done. Holding this rage hasn't been easy, boy. Holding this rage set 'em all wrong. Holding this rage just tore them to pieces, boy. Look what it's done. Look what it's done. Look what it's done. It set off their bombs and loaded their guns. It ate through their hearts, it buried their sons. It's all they have left, it's all they have known. It left them destroyed.
feeling that you get is probably the closest to being on stage and playing it live in front of people. Then you have to go through the process of, you know, playing it for other people and finding out if you've really hit the nerve or hit the nail on the head or whatever. But when you first get the song, you know, like, on their street, on their strip, no one's ever free from their grip. Okay, that's how that used to start. And then, oops, sorry. Once we got working on it, it became more of someone suggested along the way, you should speak that part. And that's why the song said, you know, on their street, on their strip, you know, and it's the process along the way to finally playing it in front of people that's a really interesting thing, and that's the mountain that each song has to climb. Mm. So very often, one of the first people I'll play a song to is my brother Terry, and he'll make various suggestions along the way.
As slyly as possible.
And he sits here, by the way, for months on end, waiting until I actually come up with something.
It all comes down to you picture doing it live, and you might think, oh, this section might drag a bit. So I'll be honest about it, but you have to approach it still, even though we're brothers. You still have to be really delicate about it, because you gotta remember, he went through the hell of actually writing it, and the stuff that we do is more like kind of the fun side of it. You know what I mean?
Now that's pretty much what I play on the record. You know, I mean, that's piano.
Anything with that.
Piano-wise, and
we didn't do much to that.
So when you hear a demo like that, I mean, it must be a little bit daunting, because you probably figured, well, what can I add to that? It already sounds so complete at that stage.
Well, there aren't a lot of guitars in it, but what I like to do,
none.
you might notice that. So it's not so complete yet.
Yeah.
But what I like to do is sort of take the tape and live with it. Just listen to the lyric, get a fix on what's trying to be said and in the context it's being said, and just make notes before I make any notes as to what the chords are or what key or anything. I just like to get a fix on the overall and think, okay, well maybe we'll try some slide, or maybe I'll try steel. Just make a bunch of notes and then just wing it.
When you're with players who you've heard play for years and you've heard them play other people's songs, and they have, and I've used this word a lot, but they have a strong character to the way that they play, to be able to draw on those sources and have them interpret or contribute to something that you've written is a really exciting phase for your music to go through, you know. And it's just that along the way, the more talented people that touch the song, the better the end result is going to ultimately be.